Hi guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. My country people, some groups have decided to stage a protest for the release of Godwin Emefiele, the suspended CBN governor. And I can tell you that all this is coming after Godwin Emefiele was suspended by President Tinubu and following his immediate arrest by the DSS, where they laid weighty allegations of abuse of office against him, and they also laid accusations of terrorism financing, fraud, and other allegations too. So as e dey be like this, so Godwin Emefiele don enter one chance. And when it comes to this DSS matter, anybody wey DSS arrest, una know say e dey take time before those people go comot for DSS custody. And as e dey be like this, so some certain group dem wan stage protest for Godwin Emefiele. They want make the DSS release Godwin Emefiele. So the Nigerian Secret Police DSS have warned groups planning protest in Lagos, Abuja, to demand for the release of the suspended CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. Let's find out more as we hit the news. The Department of the State Service on Saturday sounded warning to persons and groups which it said it had identified to be planning to stage campaigns of calumny against it and the federal government over the suspension and the subsequent investigation of Mr. Godwin Emefiele. The DSS, through its spokesperson, Dr. Peter Afunanya, said in a release that the groups intended to gather at different points in Abuja and in Lagos with cards calling for the immediate release of the suspended Central Bank Governor Emefiele. Afunanya said that the groups intended to gather at different points in Abuja, in Lagos, with cards, and also the federal government, putting the federal government in bad light, as well as calling for the immediate release of Emefiele. The service therefore warns those behind this plot to desist forthwith. Meanwhile, the DSS says it has granted the family of Godwin Emefiele and the medical officials and appropriate persons access to him right from the day he was taken in and had obtained a court order to do so. The DSS have implemented standard operating procedures on suspects handling an investigation professionally. Several reporters had reported earlier in the week on how Godwin Emefiele identified the suspended chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdulrasheed Bawa, as an accomplice in the Naira redesign scam that rocked the country some months ago. And it was also learned on Thursday that Emefiele, who is being detained by the country's secret police, the Department of the State Service, was the reason why the embattled EFCC chairman was also invited and detained. And on Wednesday, it was also reported that the DSS invited Bawa to his headquarters at about 9 p.m. and he was thereafter grilled by the operatives of the secret police. And this comes hours after he was suspended indefinitely by President Bola Tinubu, and also it comes days after Emefiele was arrested and flown from Lagos to Abuja to also face investigations over some alleged corruption and abuse of office. And we've learned that Emefiele and Bawa are both, undergoing interrogation, which include the issues surrounding the Naira redesign scam. We've known that Emefiele have insisted on the Naira redesign, and it was introduced. It was introduced in December, and then he insisted that the old Naira note would cease to exist, would cease to be a legal tender from January 31st, 2023. And it brought crisis, it brought chaos in this country. And Emefiele insisted that that move was not targeted at anyone, because then there were speculations that the move, which is the Naira redesign, the introduction of the Naira redesign policy, was, targeted towards Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the then presidential candidate of the ruling All Progressive Congress, from winning the February 25th presidential election. They said it was pushed by the Aso Rock cabals, and the policy cost Nigerians untold hardship due to the scarcity of the Naira notes, with the CBN unable to meet the demand for the new Naira notes. And even the policy that these the sole aim that this new Naira notes policy was introduced was to stop politicians from engaging into vote buying and other vices. But at the end of the day, we saw what played out at the elections. So it did not help out in any way. Instead, Nigerians suffered for nothing. You see, the policy led to a cash crisis. It led to long queues at banks, at ATMs. So Tinubu indefinitely suspended power from office on Wednesday, saying it would allow a thorough investigation into his conduct, on abuse of office and the rest. And Nigerians were subjected into extreme difficulty as a result of the Naira redesign and the cashless policy due to the scarcity of the new Naira note. So to make matters worse, Emefiele had earlier before now refused to heed a Supreme Court ruling, which made the old notes a legal tender till December 31st, before the former president Muhammad Buhari himself distanced, himself from the disobedience of the court order. He had to come and make a statement. And I can tell you, ever since then, Nigerians have been calling for the arrest, for the persecution of Godswill Emefiele. And it was reported that Godwin Emefiele's suspension was sequel to the ongoing investigation of his office. And now I can tell you that there are some certain groups that are planning to stage a protest. They are planning to stage a protest on the release of, demanding for the immediate release of Godwin Emefiele. They have called that Godwin Emefiele should be released. Now the DSS have decided to raise alarm and have also, warned these people in the process that they should not embark on this journey. They are trying to paint the government black by calling for the immediate release of Godwin Emefiele. Meanwhile, they are aware that Godwin Emefiele is, being interrogated by the DSS for several, allegations of corruption, terrorism financing, abuse of office, diversion of public funds, and the rest that have been labeled against him. These guys are aware, but now they want to stage a protest, irrespective of all this ongoing. So that is why the DSS have decided to raise alarm over this issue. They have decided to warn those people, those groups that, wants to stage protests for Godwin Emefiele to be released. They said they shouldn't attempt to do it because anything where they see may they take for inside. So guys, what are your thoughts concerning this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.